Hello and a warm welcome to Federal's special program, Capital Beat. BSP chief Mayawati is back on the campaign trail. She held her first election rally yesterday in Muzaffarnagar, where she vowed for statehood of Western Uttar Pradesh. Apart from that, she spoke about the need of brotherhood for Muslims and the members of the Jat community. She even accused BJP for designing policies which are leading to unemployment, backwardness, and poverty. And at the same time, she made a high pitch for her Dalit centric party as a movement of hope. Now, all this while, there was a perception that Mayawati was helping BJP, but now since she's back on the saddle of the campaign trail, what does it really mean? Is she going to train her guns against BJP? Will she end up helping India alliance? How will the division of votes happen? It's a very interesting scenario, and we'll discuss all of this. Joining me now is a very special panel, and let me introduce you to two Dalit activists who are veterans. S.R. Darapuri, who's a retired IPS officer who's seen the Kashiram movement very closely. He's worked with BSP. Then we have Captain Dinesh Chandra, who's a strong BSP supporter, and at the same time, he's a Dalit activist. I welcome both of you on the channel. And there's Javed Ansari, who's a senior journalist, editor, and political commentator. Thank you so much, Javed ji, for joining on the show. And let me begin with Captain Dinesh Chandra. Now that Captain Dinesh Mayawati is back on the campaign trail, nobody knew that now. And what we are told is that over the next 10 days, she will be campaigning across Uttar Pradesh till about 23rd or 24th. Now, what does this mean? And has she been able to shed this image that this is a party which has surrendered to BJP in a way which had almost given up on the campaigning? And now that since she's back, what does it really mean for the party?
As far as the shedding of image of Behenji is concerned, first of all, we must go into the question why she needs to shed the image and what image. The image what she had earlier after Kanshiramji or during his period, was there any change in that image in the recent past? If that image was not changed, then there is no question of shedding the image. And if people think she has to shed her image now, it means there was a definite change in the image, in her image. What was that image and what is this image, or perceived image at this time? Earlier, the image was that she had emerged from a Dalit movement which was long simmering, I think since 70s or mid 70s. Because earlier, Darapuri sir will stand by me. We used to give contribution from our scholarship in mid 70s. So that is how DS4 and BAMSAFE came into existence and had a strong platform. Out of that strong platform, the BSP emerged little early, or we can say little prematurely. But Kashiramji worked hard and built up that political platform, and he succeeded in his ideas of having a political representation for Dalits. Now, what happens after him? Probably the drastic change which took place, that was shedding the ideology of Shri Kashiramji over a period of time. Probably we talk about that image, which was a shadow of the ideology of Shri Kashiramji. Why this gradual change in her image came into? Probably, to my perception, she has lost her way of the ideology which emerged after a long process. Maybe her political compulsions or some other financial compulsions which made her to lose her way in between. But uh, to my perception, today also she has got a good support. But slowly, because I keep roaming around, so the intellectuals, so-called Dalit intellectuals, now they are not so inclined to support Mayawati ji because of her image, what she has today of probably helping BJP, maybe because of certain reasons. So vote bank in villages till now still strong, but in urban areas it is decaying day by day. This is what I have to say.
No, but you listed out a couple of reasons. One more question, and then I'll go to Javeji. You said that because of the financial compulsions or the political compulsions, she's lost her way with that ideology which was espoused by Kashi Ram. Now, that is the biggest question: that has she lost her way? Is she trying to regain that lost power of Kashi Ram? What is it that she's trying to do now? If she's back on the campaign trail, she's talking against BJP. What is it actually she wants now? Does she want to regain the lost glory? What is she working for now? Because her nephew, Akash Anand, is also now working for the party. He's campaigning all across the country. And now she's back in force in UP. So, what does it mean for the party, really?
Niluji, she is back in the campaign, yes, because she's head of, or she was head of, and practically she is heading that political party. So she has to be in the fray. And if she is in the fray, then she has to be out for the campaign. Now, how seriously do we take her? Now, if she is trying to bat for Dalits, how seriously the urban population and the rural population is going to take her? That is the question. Up, like I earlier said, compulsions. Not that she wanted to decay her own image politically, but that is what is the perception which I and general people have. Financial and political compulsions. I said compulsions, and those compulsions probably they are not. They have uh, helped to make some perception regarding her image, which she owns now. Means she is apparently, it seems that she is batting for Dalits, but the recent past has proved that she has been helpful either knowingly or unknowingly. She has been helping BJP. It may be unknowingly.
Right. Okay. But to say that unknowingly she's doing it would be something which we'll have to take it with a pinch of salt. But nevertheless, I'll come to Javeji now. The Javeji, yesterday in the rally, she vowed for statehood of Western Uttar Pradesh, which of course leaders like Sanjeev Balyan and all also have espoused for. So she's talking about a separate state for Western Uttar Pradesh. She's talking about the policies of BJP. She's criticizing BJP. She's also talking about the brotherhood of Jats and Muslims. So, what does it really mean? I mean, how will she end up through her speeches? And she's going to campaign over the next 10 days. How will she end up dividing the votes? Because there is a bloc which is called the India bloc, and there is BJP. So, is she going to emerge as a third player? Will she end up giving advantage to BJP? How do you see things shaping up as far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned? You'll have to unmute, Javed. Yeah.
To the first part of your question on why she spoke of uh, bifurcating Uttar Pradesh, this demand for hiving off a part of Western UP is not new. Ajit Singh ji used to talk a lot about Harit Pradesh. It's another matter that his son has now joined hands with the BJP, and now there is no talk. I'm surprised that Sanjeev Balyan has supported this idea. because the BJP, and we have it from very senior leaders, none less than Mr. L.K. Advani and Murli Manohar Joshi, who are on record having said that they will never allow the creation of Western UP, of a separate state, of UP being hived, Western UP hived off Uttar Pradesh, and allow formation of a new state, because that will be yet another Muslim majority state. And this, they said, we cannot allow. We know what is happening to Kashmir. We cannot allow that to happen. And how effective is that appeal of hers? There is, even her most ardent supporters do not give her a chance, a hope in hell, either coming into power in Uttar Pradesh or leave alone the center. To be able to create or help create a state, you must first, the state assembly needs to pass a resolution. She needs to be heading that, and then the central government needs to put a signature, neither of which is happening. So it's just one of those election jumlas. Why is she campaigning? Look, this is the Western UP is her catchment area. There is a substantial population of Jatavs and also of Muslims. If you've noticed, she's fielding a large number of Muslims from this area, resourceful Muslims, may not necessarily political people, but resourceful people who've just joined the party. She's putting them up in the hope that they will be able to bring in a substantial number of votes from their community, and the Jata vote she'll transfer to them, and then it will add up to some of the time. This, if she has to win a seat, this is the only area. This, and perhaps the seat that she used to contest from in Eastern UP, Akbarabad or Akbarpur Tanda. That's the seat. That's the only hope where Mayawati has hope. So that's why she's campaigning. She'll campaign vigorously there. Because if Mayawati, look, what is the challenge before her? If she doesn't win a single seat, she already has no representation in the UP Assembly. And if she, or perhaps she has just one. If she fails to win a single seat, then what is a USP? Why will political parties flock to try and win her over? Why will the BJP even flock? It cannot just be to help the BJP that she's doing there. Of course, the whatever minority vote she is able to attract, it will cut into whatever the India alliance would have got. So that is one this thing. But she also must be hoping to at least one or two seats, so that she continues to be recognized as a player, leave alone a significant player, but continues to be recognized as a political player in
Right.
UP. And for that to have a chance,
Javed, does it mean that it's a fight for her survival? Because in 2019, BSP had won 10 seats, but that was when her party was in alliance with Samajwadi Party. But this time, since there's no alliance, she's going alone. So is it a fight for survival? And at the same time, even if she doesn't want, she will end up helping BJP, because she will be dividing the Muslim votes, which will of
it
course not
is
be for any alliance.
it is certainly a existential battle for her. Like I said, if she doesn't win, her relevance goes, and whether she intends it or not, whatever minority vote she attracts, it will be eating into the share of the India alliance, and so
Yes.
the BJP will either be the intended or the unintended or intended beneficiary will obviously be the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Yes, that's true. So I'll come to Mr. Darapuri now. And so, how would you really see the situation? Like what Javed just said, that it's an existential battle for her. And even if she doesn't want to be labeled as someone who supports BJP, but automatically she will end up doing that. So, what is the future of BSP really, according to you? Is the future bright now, since Akash Anand, the nephew, also has taken over the reins of the party? Where think is the future of BSP? And not to forget, I mean, we have people like Chandrasekhar Azad, who are also, eyeing at the Dalit vote bank.
I agree with Mr. Captain Chandra and Mr. Javed. As I can see from the history of development of BSP in Uttar Pradesh or elsewhere, to begin with, BSP had the support of Muslims, OBCs, Dalits, all had come together in 1993 and even afterwards. But then, when BSP entered into an alliance with the Bharatiya Janata Party in 1995, the Muslims got wary and they started moving away. And after that, there were two more alliances with the BJP, and that gave the clear message to the Muslims that she is not bothered about the minorities. She is bothered about political power. She can enter into any unprincipled alliance or opportunistic alliance. And unfortunately, she didn't have any Dalit agenda. Her sole aim was to get into power somehow or the other. And she succeeded 4 times. Of course, for the first 3 times, she was not in a very strong position. But in the fourth time, she was in a very strong position. And the Dalits expected that she will do something for the Dalits in her last stint when she was in a very strong position. But unfortunately, she didn't do even during that period. And in this journey, the BSP came to be known as an opportunist party, selling the tickets, indulging in corruption, self-aggrandizement. And Mayawati was personally involved in all those things. And she had cases against her. Even in 2001, she was caught by the CBI. She was charge sheeted for disproportionate assets. But for various reasons, no prosecution sanction was given by the governor and she was saved. And then after that, there was wholesale corruption, sale of tickets, taking money from the officers, and then no specific agenda for empowerment of the Dalits. Most of the welfare schemes which were there, they were already existing schemes, they were centrally sponsored schemes, and hardly any new scheme was evolved for empowerment of the Dalits. And you will be surprised to know that the most important factor for the empowerment of the Dalits was distribution of land to the landless. Of course, some land was distributed in 1995 and 1996, but still there was a lot of land which could be distributed to the Dalits, but land was not distributed to the Dalits and the other landless people. And the people, the Dalits came to realize that she is selling tickets and their votes are being sold to such persons who were accused of murder, rape of the Dalits. And as such, she forced the Dalits to vote for those persons whom Dalits would have never voted for. And then during this period, another phenomena it developed that was that the BSP was the party of one caste only, and the smaller subcaste which felt neglected, and the Muslims especially, they got wary and they moved away from the Baspa. And then the smaller subcaste in Uttar Pradesh, Chamar Jatim is the most dominant subcaste, about 54%. Then there are Balmikis, there are Khatiks, then there are Dhobis, there are Koris, like that. And though during this period, all those smaller subcastes they moved away from the BSP, and Mayawati was left with her core constituency of Jatis and Dalits. Even the last elections, the 12, last 3 or 4 elections have shown that even a good percentage of the core constituency of Mayawati voters of Chamars and Dalit, they have moved away. They sometimes they voted for Samajwadi Party, and then they have voted for the BJP, and that is why BJP has been able to win almost all the reserved seats in Uttar Pradesh. So that way, the core
No, but
constituency of the
Mr.
Mayawati.
Parapuri, you made important points. What I want to ask you is that how will it be for Mayawati in 2024? Now, if she's trying to regain the lost glory, if she's wanting to come back to the Dalit agenda, all those Dalit voters which moved away from Mayawati, is there a possible likelihood that they will come back to Mayawati, or they will move probably to India Alliance? How will it really end up in
No,
2024?
I see no hope of those voters getting back to Mayawati. And because BJP has co-opted all those smaller subcastes, the BJP has given them places as MLAs or MPs, and new power centers have been created there. And those smaller subcastes, they have gathered about their own people, and they are moved away from Mayawati. Even as I have told that a good percentage of the core constituency of Chamars and Jatwas, they have also moved away from Mayawati. And then the even Dalit, the Chamar and Jatwas and others, they have come to the conclusion that Mayawati has grown very weak due to various cases against her, and she is not able to assert as she had done before. And now the people they journal this notion that she is serving the BJP and she has no option, and she is forced to set her candidates at all the seats, not only in UP but even outside. So that way, I don't see any hope of Mayawati regaining her lost glory or the lost hold on the constituency. And I don't think she will be able to make any mark during this election. I am afraid that it may be her last election. It may be her last election. And the Dalits have realized the futility of the caste politics, and they have realized this hero worship. The Dalits have realized the disadvantages of the hero worship, which the Dalits have been indulging so far. So Mayawati is not going to gain anything. That is my personal assessment.
You made some very strong remarks, Mr. Darapuri, and I'll come to Captain Dinesh now. That what Mr. Darapuri said, that it could be the last innings of Mayawati. Would you agree to this? And then I'll take the concluding comment from Javed. Yes.
Niluji, the major portion of the question that she has lost grounds. Yes, I 100% agree with him. But she will be finished in the politics. I think for me it is premature to say this. But the trend which is being shown, it says that in near future, if the same trend continues and the new person, Mr. Anand, who has taken over the reins, if he doesn't act the way public expects him to act, then definitely Mayawati as well as BSP both will be finished.
No, but when you say that Akash Anand will have to act now, so the dilemma is that will he act according to Kashi Ram's ideology? Will he follow the same footsteps what Mayawati followed, and the selling of tickets and no specific agenda of Dalits? So will he have to return to the roots of the agenda which was started by Kashi Ram, or will he follow the footsteps of Mayawati?
Yes.
What will he do now?
If he wants, BSP as well as he has to survive in politics, he has to take a call and return back to the old agenda. But it is definitely going to take time. There may be a downfall. But if he succeeds in gathering the Dalits, to some extent OBCs and STs, yes, it may take maybe 10 years to come to the active politics where he can give good fight. He has to take call. I cannot say that Dalit leadership is finished. Why? Because there are many people, those who are there to ensure that Dalit leadership should not finish. And Akash Anand and Mayawati is not the last persons with whom Dalit leadership will finish.
No, of course, there are a lot many Dalit leaders now, but the question is that what happens to Mayawati, what happens to Bahujan Samaj Party, which was started by Kashi Ram, what happens to that, Captain Dinesh?
Niluji, anybody comes to politics, she or he has to retrieve one day. They have to go back. They cannot remain in politics forever. So, I think the time has come for Mayawati to withdraw herself and let the new leadership act freely.
All right, all right. So I'll come to the concluding remarks from Javed. So Javed, how do you see the innings from here on for Mayawati, and also since Akash Anand is a young blood, and what he was told by Mayawati initially, that he has to bring in that new energy, some new focus in the party. So as what Mr. Darapuri said, that uh, I think it would be the last innings of Mayawati. So what would you really say?
So the BSP and Mr. BSP as it exists in its present form, and Miss Mayawati, they are fighting a battle to stay relevant. She has ensured that the party has become marginalized. Now they are fighting to stay relevant, which may even be a very, very difficult task for if the BSP has to re-emerge, there has to be a new leadership, and it has to the catchment area, the vote of the BSP will not go away. But whether it will be under this leadership and in present form is $1 million question, which I think both group captain and the other gentlemen have answered very eloquently. I think Mayawati has a mountain to climb. If she remains relevant, she should thank her stars. I don't see that happening.
All right. So we'll have to wait and watch as to what happens over the next 10 days almost. She's campaigning across Uttar Pradesh. And of course, her nephew Akash Anand will also be touring through the various states across this Lok Sabha election. So we'll have to wait and watch how many seats this time BSP really wins. And as everybody said, that it's a battle of survival. It's a tough mountain which Mayawati has to climb. So we'll have to wait and watch how she builds up the campaign and how she infuses that new energy in the party. Thank you so much, Mr. Darapuri, Captain Dinesh. It was wonderful having both of you on the program. Javed, thank you so much. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this discussion: subscribe to our channel, send us your feedback, and stay tuned to the Federal. Thank you.
Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more news and updates.